And the shit show
Just
begins.
broken the access code to this game. A game in
Gotta
which your
love a shit
destiny
show.
depends upon your own decisions, and where the ultimate weapon is your mind.
Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please take your seats at this time as the program will begin momentarily.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Gen X Dave. Welcome to Gen X and Beyond. That's
I'm Melvin DeVoe.
double 420. Bro, what's been going on, man?
Oh, not much, man. Been playing World of Warcraft. That's about it.
I got some news.
What's the news?
The news is we went from 25 subscribers to 35. We're moving on up.
Moving on up.
And we could thank
Moving
XG
inside.
Rumble and a few other people. Thank you guys for subbing
Thank you.
to our channel. It helps out.
Hey, we appreciate it.
Right. And for any and all new people here that is watching or will be watching, just go into our description. You will see that our comments, views, and opinions are just that of our own. They do not represent or reflect or anything like that towards anybody or any entity or their partners that we stream from. So with that being said, moving on. But yeah, we got 35 subs now, working our way to 50.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing pretty decent. I'm not complaining, so
Right.
I could, but I'm not going to. XG and Rumble from the club we're in on Fishing Planet from Big Tuna 420. XG and Rumble, thank you for the help and the continuous help that you will and have been doing with the podcast. Yes, we do video games and we do talk about a lot of video games. Talking about video games, I got something I want to bring up before we get into anything political. This is going to shock you. This was, let me bring it up first before we get into it. I'm going to go over it a little bit with you. Let's see here. You know that guy I like to watch about Xbox, Brad Sams?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some things that he had came out with. I want to
What
say
about the Switch
ago.
2.0?
The what?
The new Switch coming out?
I'm not for sure. Let's see here. Let me go. I know there was one.
Or has
Oh,
come
yeah.
out?
Here we go.
I don't know if it came out or not.
Here, this is like 5 days ago by Brad Sam. He talks about some of the stuff that
You're breaking up.
we're not going to get into the whole video, okay? First and foremost, we're just going to go in here and look at some of the things that may disturb Xbox players, but then again, it may not disturb them at all. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let's see, and I'll tell you if it disturbs me.
I know it's going to disturb you. For a fact it will. But here we go.
Following a good round of earnings, Microsoft is jacking up the price of Xbox.
Of course.
Times are changing, and historically, throughout the life cycle of a console, the price will go down. That is how things have traditionally operated, but that is not what we are seeing this time around. A couple weeks ago, Sony said, hey, outside the United States, they were increasing pricing of hardware, and Microsoft, not to be outdone after reporting really solid earnings yesterday, is saying, look, Xbox hardware and games, mind you, are going to be getting more expensive. Thanks to a new posting on Xbox, Xbox, and then there's some aggregate data, which we'll talk about here. But let's dive into this because this is not a small price increase. So this is the official recommended retail pricing for Xbox consoles, controllers, basically all of their physical hardware. And these prices are not cheap. So now the Xbox Series S.
Wait. All right. First off, why are consoles getting more expensive? Or is it? I mean, what are they saying? The reason behind it? Does he say the reason behind it?
I don't know what had to go on.
Because this is bull crap.
Well, with the price of Xbox going up and the controllers and hardware going up, I think it's pretty much safe to say if it is going to skyrocket, you might as well just buy
the Xbox that I bought from Microsoft, from this place that wants to raise prices.
Yep.
Is the exact same price as I paid for it with tax.
Yep.
Why?
So let's go into this.
There's no reason why they should be doing this. This is bogus and bullcrap.
3,
2,
1. Weedo. This bowl's for you guys. And tonight's sponsor is Big Tuna 420 Fishing Club out of Xbox. Here we go.
Is going to be starting at $379, and if you want to go for the top dog, the Xbox Series X 2TB Galaxy Black Special Edition, which is a mouthful to say just any way you look at it, $729.
So basically, you're saying people like me who can't afford a lot, it's not going to be able to buy the new Xbox. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, you'll be able to get the same exact one that I got. Maybe.
Yeah, but I don't like the S series. I never did like the S brand. Slims.
Unless you want to spend $600 on a 500 megabyte or 500 gig fucking system, or no, that'd be the gig. Sorry,
I'll just find some crackhead that needs money and wants to sell me their console for $200.
Living where you live, that's pretty easy to do. Living where I live, probably not so easy.
Right. But here we go. Let's get into this.
That is not cheap. Now, the Xbox wireless headset is getting a pretty hefty price increase up to $119. Elite Series 2.
You said that wireless headset's going up to $119.
Full is now back up to it's $199, but I feel like it was maybe $179. Although I've
$119.
got the more data here, anyways. And so actually, why even hold back?
$9.99.
Here we go. Here's the layout. All right. Xbox Series S, 512, $379, up from $299. That's what you paid.
No,
$379 before tax.
that's not what I paid. I have the 1 terabyte.
Okay, so the Series X 1 terabyte, $429.99, up from $349.99, which is what you paid to $349, right?
Without tax, yeah.
Without tax, it was $429.99 after tax, or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that means the Xbox Series S 1 terabyte is going to be going up to $429.99. Now,
No, it already is actually.
okay, so that is okay. And if that's the case, what makes them think that anybody wants to spend money with them? They might as well just
Not even worth it.
for $200 more on top of the $429.99, you could go out and buy you a damn good fucking gaming laptop.
Yeah, it's not even worth it.
No, not even worth it
The
at all.
Series S 1 terabyte is not even worth $430.
No, so we're shooting that one down. So there's that. There's no way anybody could afford this. The wireless Xbox controller, the one I use, the core one. Okay.
That's the one I have 12 of.
Okay. I spent was
60 bucks.
no
Yeah,
full
60
price.
bucks on each.
Walmart got it
70
for full price for $45. And they're $64.99 now. The color ones that me and you buy, the color ones, the different color ones,
Yeah,
up to $69.99.
70 bucks.
The wireless controller special edition, $79.99. This is ridiculous. We're shooting all that down. That's how that goes. Don't think so. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's bogus, dude.
It-
Like,
it-
I want to know the reason for this hike.
well, that's because PlayStation raised their prices outside of America. You know what I mean?
No, they didn't.
PlayStation,
China did.
well, no, Sony's Japan, bro.
There's no reason for Sony to do it either,
Sony, who owns PlayStation,
unless it's because of the tariffs.
it's not because of the tariffs. There's no way it's because of the tariffs.
It can't be,
No.
unless Trump's tariffing airwaves, which I don't see him doing.
No, it's whatever. Moving on.
IGN did the legwork here and lined up all the pricing, so this makes it a little bit easier to consume, if you will. So most price increases for the consoles are around $100. The Series S 512, I guess $90 are there, $80. No, 90. Yeah, $80 if I could do simple basic math. And so you can see when you look at the 2 terabyte
Right now, Brad Sams, it doesn't look like you could do basic math.
Galaxy Special Edition, yikes, we're looking at a $129 price increase starting May 1st. So if you're pretty much out of luck if you're trying to buy one, unless you can go run to Best Buy and find something that's sitting on the shelves.
And let me just say this to everybody who's watching. When you buy an Xbox, stop buying from GameStop, stop buying from Walmart. Go to Best Buy and buy it. And pay for the extended warranty. Because literally, like in 6 months, if your console's on the floor for some dumb reason and your dog decides to take a piss on it, you could take it in and exchange it in and just pay for the new extended warranty for the new one.
Yeah, it'd be like $70.
Same with your controllers. You know what I'm saying? You could have a new controller every year if you just pay for the extended warranty after you pick it up.
And then just take it back. I mean, nothing has to be wrong with it. Just take it back and pay for the warranty.
And tell them it's got a drift or something. I don't even think they ask, but
They don't.
To clear up maybe some old stock, but even the basic Series X is $599. My friends, this does not bode well for next generation Xbox or just console hardware at any level, because I mean we already saw what the Switch 2 was going to be.
And then everything's an Xbox. So what's the sense for consoles now? You can have Xbox on Amazon Fire Stick.
You could
Amazon Fire Stick.
What's the purpose of doing this if there's no incentive? I mean, you're pushing people off a console to PC or to Nintendo or to PlayStation if they want. That's another reason why I stopped fucking with PlayStation, is because they raise their prices. You know,
Constantly charging for every little thing.
Yeah, because you really don't get a headset in a console pack anymore. You used to be able to buy the console pack and you get a console, a controller, a headset all for one low price.
A one ear headset. I remember that.
Yeah. You used to be able to get it all. Now they took the headset out. They only give you a controller.
Since the Xbox One.
When I bought the Xbox 360 and I bought the limited edition bundle pack, it came with a controller, a wireless Xbox headset, 1 year membership of Gold, the console, and 2 free games. And I paid $350 brand new. $350 brand new cash. And
Yep.
the next edition, which was the Project Scorpio, which I own and I'm playing on now, the One X, you know, it didn't have gold. It may came with a game if it was a limited edition console. It does not come with a headset. It came with a controller only, and that was that.
See,
You know,
my ex came with a year of gold and a controller and the console.
all I'm saying is Xbox could do better. Yeah, I mean, I love Xbox. I switched from
And 2
Nintendo.
batteries.
I traded my Nintendo GameCube with 4 Wavebirds with about 60 games, my PlayStation 2 with 2 controllers, headsets, and a bunch of games, and I traded it all in for Xbox so I could play Mercenaries and I could play Halo 2 and Halo 1. Okay, I traded everything in for Xbox. And ever since I started playing Xbox, you know, I praised Xbox. I told everybody in the world Xbox better than PlayStation. PlayStation kiss my ass.
Hands down.
Hands down. And I still believe that to this day.
Yes, sir.
Operating system. You know what I mean?
Yes,
So-
sir. Me too. I'm the same way. I bought a PS3. I was not happy with it. I went on I think it was Craigslist, me and my brother, and we met up with this guy. He gave me his Xbox 360, and I switched him for my PS3, hands down. That's whenever the Lizard crew took over PlayStation Network,
Yeah.
and I couldn't log on for 3 days, and I just threw my hands up and said, "I'm done. Take it. Give me
Yeah.
your Xbox. Give me your 15 games, and let's just do it."
Yeah. And
Take
and another thing is too with Xbox, what I really liked about Xbox was the fact that, you know, it was easier to get online multiplayer games. It was easier to have a online multi chat and a private chat.
Well, at the beginning, it was free.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it was, to me, Xbox was just better all around. That's just my opinion, though.
At the beginning, it was free. Okay, free multiplayer. On PlayStation, you didn't have that.
No, not at all.
If you didn't have multiplayer, if you didn't pay for multiplayer, the PlayStation Plus, then you couldn't play with your friends.
Actually, we're going to stop sharing this because we know for a fact what's going on with the prices. And it was there for everybody to see. So, thanks, Brad Sams, for the update on that. That is 5 days old. If
Good job.
you just want to see Brad Sams and subscribe to his channel, keep updated on Xbox and other gaming platforms, you can just I'll put his link in my bio, in the bio at the end. Okay, and you guys will be able to view all that. Click on it. Brad Sams is pretty smart when it comes to Xbox. He's a little weird, but he's damn smart. Now we have some local news for Illinois. It's idiotic, but we'll get into that here in a minute. Now let's talk about what people feel like. How do you feel about, I don't know, styrofoam?
Well, I mean, there's a bunch of shit that I can say positive and negative about it.
Right.
I
Well,
mean,
what-
negative, it don't break down easily in the ground.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be there for 20 years plus.
Right.
If you stick it in gasoline, it kind of, well, it's kind of fun. But yeah, why? What's going on?
Um,
I mean, pros. It gets old people their food from what is it called? Meals on Wheels. I mean, they need help getting their food, right?
well, yeah, I mean, that's the same thing. You know, my whole idea, my whole focus on anything like, I don't know, um, styrofoam, I think if we were going to go after styrofoam, when we went after styrofoam years and years ago, is the reason why McDonald's and other burger chains stopped using styrofoam containers for their burgers. When we went after styrofoam industry, then you should have took it out and killed it like a three-headed dragon in a video game and just killed it
Yeah,
all.
but they didn't.
You know, so
They're fiddle farting around and playing with it like a ball of yarn and a kitten.
well,
Just like marijuana, they're playing with it like a ball of yarn and a kitten.
right. I get that. I'm trying to find, and the reason why I bring up styrofoam is because Illinois is relaxing on, I don't know if I told you this, but relaxing on the hemp laws and going after styrofoam.
Eh,
They're really going after styrofoam. And here's my thing about styrofoam. It helps keeps organs alive. It helps keeps medicine cool to on delivery. It helps with Meals on Wheels that we have, a local charity here in Illinois that helps takes meals to seniors. There's a lot of use for styrofoam, and if they're going to go after it, they're really going to mess things up. That's just my opinion and my belief.
unless they really relax on hemp and start making uh, paper containers with hemp.
Yeah, they could, I believe there is a process you could use with hemp to make a cooler or replace styrofoam with that is more biodegradable and could do the same thing as styrofoam, which is keep products cool, keep certain products hot, blah, blah, blah.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
But if we're going to do that, then that means we need to set up not only in our state, but multiple states and open up multiple jobs for multiple people to start working in these factories that's going to use hemp to build those. You know what I'm saying? And that company is going to have to run multiple different products other than just, transportation of organs, medicine, food, and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they can focus
Yeah,
on health.
and they all have to be distributed throughout the states and everything else before everything can be implemented.
Right.
Now,
And,
if I'm correct, you're talking about this being a length of time.
right.
It's broke down into a length of time. Okay, so again, we're just fiddle farting around with a ball of yarn and a kitten.
Right. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I think we're a little bit backwards on some of these things. I think you, I don't know how to put it, bud. I just think Illinois is just going about certain things the wrong way?
Well, if you really want to know my opinion, I mean,
I don't know. You're a jackass. So here's the clip. This is Illinois in Focus by the Center Square. We keep in contact with these people because they give us a lot of good information for our local town. So let me get this brought up.
and I watch it because it's state news.
Yeah, it's local state news. But if you guys want, you can check them out. They're called the Center Square. They're on YouTube, and their link will be in our bio.
It's not only Illinois in Focus. They also, if you go to their newspaper, it's the whole of every state, so
Yeah,
you can pick which state.
Right. So here we go. You ready? Let's hear
I
this
guess
that I've been telling you about.
Fred started for prison.
With just about 3 weeks left before the end of May, Illinois taxpayers still not certain how their tax dollars are going to be spent for the next fiscal year. But we got 3 weeks here. It's Illinois in Focus. I'm
Yay.
Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning. A lot of other priorities out there. Obviously, we've seen things impacting education, things impacting immigration, and more. A couple of things that we have yet to hear more about is any kind of pension measures that may impact Tier 2 pensioners. So that clearly is something that has yet to be fully put out there in the open for taxpayers to see how they're going to be impacted by that before the end of May. Clearly, the budget's another big one, but something else that still has yet to be surfaced entirely is any kind of regulations on the hemp industry in Illinois. So waiting for the budget. Waiting for pensions. What about hemp? State Representative Marty McLaughlin last month, he took to the House floor and told his colleagues after, last year, we covered this a bit, there was a lot of discussion about hemp regulations with news conferences of people holding up, counterfeit looking Skittles packages saying this isn't Skittles, this is Skittles with a Z, and it's got Delta 8 in it, which is a chemically altered substance derived from hemp. Hemp obviously is a different plant than the marijuana plant. They're both.
All I'm at a loss for words, bro. I'm really at a loss for words.
That it's nuts.
Is this what?
So you can make hemp have the effects of.
He said it's not really Skittles, it's Skittles with a Z. That's not Delta 8, dumbass. Okay, that's the actual real deal stuff out of I don't know, dispensary. What? I mean, you buy THCA, it's only got 0.03% THC count in it, and it says Skittles with a Z. You're telling me what? Delta 8? I have never seen Delta 8 flower or pre-rolls or vape or carts that ever said Skittles with a Z. Ever. Maybe it's in another state or somewhere else in the state. I don't know.
No, they have them.
This family, but it's not the same, not nearly as intoxicating, but you can derive certain types of hemp to have CBD, and then you can refine that and concentrate it, do all kind. I'm not a chemist or a botanist or whatever, or an agro-scientist, but just, on a surface level, I kind of understand what's going on there. It's distillation, right? Kind of like what they do with alcohol. They do the same thing with cannabis oils, as they do the same thing with corn oils and such. But anyways, so the hemp plant when it was ultimately allowed to be grown through a federal farm bill back in, I think, 2018, opened up the market. And you could have hemp as flour, you could have hemp as textile, you could have hemp as oil. And then Illinois.
You could have hemp printed, 3D printed houses.
Yeah.
Which is damn near 100% proof, fireproof. 100% fireproof. Almost. You know what I mean? So that says a lot because people are using it to build houses, 3D printed style, and hempcrete, the hemp concrete blocks, hemp made, that's fireproof. What's safer than that? Why are we not doing that on a mass scale to build? I mean, really? I mean, it would cut down on use of actual concrete, and they could use that concrete to build a 900-story skyscraper for all I give a shit, and leave us to be safe in these nice hemp-made houses that is fireproof. You know what I mean?
And that is what they are talking about. I just sent it to you.
So
that is the Skittles that they're talking about. It's not even.
I remember,
Skittles.
ladies and gentlemen, that's Skittles with a Z.
Yeah, ZKITTLEZ.
Yeah, Skittles. Skittles.
Now, how? Please tell me how.
Why? Who gives a listen? You never mind. I'm not even getting it. Here we go.
Brought about the legal cannabis industry for marijuana consumption above 21 recreational purposes. We had the medical side of cannabis.
You're going to limit this to 21 years of age or older, just like alcohol, just like buying cigarettes. But here's the issue. And I want you to listen very well. Here's the issue, government. I don't care what side of the aisle you sit on. If you can't buy cigarettes till you're 21, you can't buy alcohol or consume alcohol till you're 21. You can't buy marijuana or hemp-derived products for medical usage as far as smokables, edibles, whatever, until you're 21, then you should not have to sign up for the military till you're 21. You should not vote till you're 21.
You shouldn't be.
If we could sit here comfortably and send an 18-year-old kid, train them and send them across seas and put them in a battle zone and bring them back here when they're 19, if they can't walk into a bar and buy a beer, then they shouldn't be across seas putting their life on the line for the country until
Or
they're
in the
21.
store to buy whatever they want in said store.
Exactly.
Whether it be cigarettes or a pack of joints or anything.
Yeah.
They
If
fought for our country.
if an 18-year-old is considered as an adult legally by law when they commit a crime,
They should be able to do what an adult does, and that is make decisions on their life.
then they should be able to be trusted enough to be considered a full adult and be able to buy alcohol at the age of 18, be able to buy weed at the age of 18, be able to buy a rifle or a pistol or a machine gun at the age of 18. They should not be hindered.
Right. I agree.
But here we go.
Cannabis or marijuana for several years before that. So in that structure, they didn't necessarily wrap in hemp. So now hemp's been out there somewhat unregulated in Illinois. And Governor J.B. Pritzker, even last year, joining these news conferences saying, hey, this is
It only should be regulated if it's being used for consumption of the internal use of the human anatomy. If hemp is being used for other things like in clothes, textiles, rope, building materials, if they're used like that, I don't believe they should be regulated at all.
Well, is concrete
Bad stuff.
regulated?
Yeah,
Is it?
yeah, because certain concrete can only be used for certain projects.
I mean, shouldn't it be kind of like roped into concrete?
What? Hempcrete? Are you
Why
talking
not?
about hempcrete?
Yeah, I mean, it should be in the same category.
Well, they got other places that already do that. You know what I'm saying? As far as the hempcrete, as far as houses go. But I'm talking about like the regulations they're talking about. You know what I mean?
Well, they're talking about like medicinal and the smokable kind of
Of the hemp.
yeah. They're trying to say that this hemp that they're growing is being broke down and turned into Delta 8.
Okay. Let me explain to you people what I know about Delta 8. I work for a vape shop. I sell the shit. Hemp derived Delta 8. Listen to what I just said. Hemp, keyword derived Delta 8. If Delta 8 is hemp derived, that means it is hemp. And it only has certain medical tools for use. Okay? There's nothing chemically changed with it unless somebody did it on purpose. But Delta 8 is hemp. Delta 9 is THC. And all weed is THCA until you put a flame to it. I don't care what anybody tells you. Here we go.
This Delta 8 stuff getting into the hands of kids, we need to regulate this. Well, a Republican who doesn't really agree with the governor much at all
Do we have
agrees
to?
with him on this.
Really?
Here's Marty McLaughlin.
In my 4.5 years in this chamber, I
Stop.
constantly hear we need to protect the children. And on this issue, I rarely agree with the governor. And Governor, 99.8% of the time I'm against you, but I'm with you on this one. The governor's right. We have well-established regulatory system for legal cannabis. So why the hesitation here, my friends?
So McLaughlin highlighting how there's no real regulation, and he agrees with some Democrats that want to make hemp more regulated. But when you get to it, not all the Democrats are in agreement on this. A lot of Democrats pushing back because they have constituents that put blood, sweat, and tears into their hemp business in Illinois. Here's Craig Katz. He is with the Illinois Healthy Alternatives Association. It's a
What kind of hemp business? Let's find out.
group of hemp industry businesses coming together to advocate on their own behalf at the Illinois State House.
What do they make with the hemp? That's what I want to know.
And Katz talks about how hemp is different than marijuana, and there's tons of different products that hemp can produce.
Products, hemp-derived products, include everything from balms that you can rub on your joints to make your rheumatoid arthritis feel better, tinctures that you can put under your tongue that will
My knee.
alleviate pain. And we don't make medical claims, just so we're clear on that. There are beverages that people can imbibe that are non-alcoholic.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
And I've tried a sample of that on my knee,
Yep.
and dude, I was doing jumping jacks.
Get out of here. You can't even lift your leg up past your fucking.
Shut up. Yeah, I can. But no, for real, like no pain, nothing for like days.
Right. So, no regulation on hemp. They want to make regulations. Some Democrats are pushing back because of constituents. You know, we get it. Hemp can be made with a lot of stuff. But These guys are worried about the hemp products that is being consumed internally and rubbed on externally, you know, for certain pains and relief and arthritis and stuff. And I get it. But
Yeah.
here's where I draw the line. And maybe I'm wrong for this, and I'm sorry.
But should that be regulated to over 21 and over?
Well, I'm sorry for this, but I think you guys need to stop infusing soft drinks, infusing stuff like, drinks, because say somebody comes and buys a 6-pack of those hemp or THCA infused drinks, takes them home, put them bad boys in the fridge, and next thing you know, their 2 5-year-olds is passed out stoned in the middle of the freaking living room because they thought it was drinks for them. Because we're already seeing it look like candy. We know what some of it looks like. And as a kid, there was a report of a kid a few years ago who took gummy bears to school, shared them with the whole class, and everybody was fucking stoned. And we're talking about,
That's not cool.
I'm talking about 10-year-olds and younger, bro. That this stuff.
What?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
And how did they catch said class?
What? Stone?
I mean, yeah, were they?
The teacher noticed a difference in them.
Do you think?
Miss Anderson, I feel funny. Little Timmy's over there in the corner just rocking back and forth, going red round, red round. You got a line of girls just sitting front to back, braiding each other's hair in a circle like a bunch of engines, and kumbaya, my lord, kumbaya. Whatever. Here we go.
Alcoholic, which is an alternative to a lot of the alcoholic beverages that are out there. No hangovers, less calories, things like that. Gummies obviously are something that we do, but we don't do the gummies that you see out in some of the packaging that the governor has held out as an example of bad products. So there's a whole wide range of products.
And companies need to know better what they put on their packages. That's for sure.
I mean, if you're gonna have,
this pack of cigarettes right here could be black and white with a skull and crossbones on it and called Cancer, and I'm still gonna smoke it.
Yep.
And the reason is because it was shoved down our throats.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you remember this, Smoking, but I know some of our viewers who are old enough to know and seen these commercials. Every other commercial, hold on. Every other commercial in the 80s was either Budweiser, Coors, or Miller.
Yep.
Marlboro, Newport, Camel, Cool. Those cigarette commercials were all over the freaking place.
I remember the Camel, the Cool. I've seen Virginia
NASCAR,
Slim,
the Winston Cup,
Winston's. And like you said, all the alcohol commercials.
Mm-hmm.
Seen all them.
Yeah. And every kid growing up in the 80s who's Gen X like me wanted to be cool like their parents and put in a cigarette and act like they're hanging out with their homies and stuff like that. And that's how it starts.
Yeah.
It's a generational curse.
We had them candy cigarettes.
Yeah, candy cigarettes, bubblegum cigars.
Bubblegum cigars, yeah. Big Chew. Bubblegum Chew.
Yeah, bubblegum, big league chew. Looked like tobacco chew, thin strips.
But the baseball players used to put in their mouth right before they went up to hit the bat.
Yep, exactly.
And we seen that on TV.
Yeah.
It was nothing to see that on TV.
Nothing. It was everyday life.
And I remember my stepmom walking through the store with a cigarette in her hand, shopping
I remember
in the produce section.
waking up on Saturday morning, 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. Walk out to the kitchen, get you a bowl of cereal. Got Saturday morning cartoons going on, and all of a sudden I hear my mom. I called down the street to the gas station. I want you to go down there and give me a pack of Benson and Hedges menthol, and here's the money. They know you're coming.
Yep.
And take $5. 12 years old. Ride my bicycle down the hill to the gas station. Across the street from the post office. Go pick up the mail. Go across the street, grab the cigarettes, and ride my bike back up the hill to go home and take everything to my mother.
Mine was a mile walk from my house to the cigarette shop. And then I had to walk there, walk the mile to the cigarette shop, which me and my brother found another way through, but that's a story for another time. We walked a mile, got the cigarettes, and my stepmom was kind of safe with it, and she wrote out a check.
Right.
So we couldn't spend it nowhere else.
Right.
And she knew the exact amount, so we couldn't buy nothing else. And don't think I didn't do something else. So I walked up there, got the 2 or 3 cartons my stepmom wanted. Went over to the corner store, did a little shopping there, and had to carry all that a mile back home.
You know, I used to go down to the corner store.
And I was probably about 14, 13 years old.
I used to go down to the corner store when I was about that age and go pick up beer for Dad.
Yeah.
Now, the times we live in now, compared
And my dad would take me up to take me and him up to the alcohol shop, give me the money. I'd say, hey, my dad's out there. He wants this. Give him the money.
Could you believe what would happen? Okay, imagine the stuff that's going on now happening back in the 80s, bro. Do you think that shit would even stand?
No.
No, bro.
No. It would have been eradicated.
Dude, it'd been a civil war.
Yeah.
It truly would, because my mom and dad's baby boomer. You know what I'm saying?
My mom was a baby boomer. And yeah, my parents were baby boomers.
I'm Gen X, born in 77. You're year 1 millennial, but raised Gen X. We could both easily say that the stuff that's going on in the public view today would not stand and be even an issue in the 80s, because it was not, people were not scared to say what was truly on their mind.
No.
You know, they
no,
had
back then they were like us. They had no filter between their brain and their mouth.
Right.
And whatever they thought come to out their mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we were taught to be. That's how we were taught to be. And we were taught, treat other people like you wanted to be treated.
Yeah, basically saying judge a motherfucker by his character and not by the color of their skin, or
don't judge a book by its cover.
Exactly.
Because it'll surprise you.
Exactly.
You got to read the back of the book to get the gist of the book.
I don't know, man. It's just things are different, bro.
Well, yeah, things are different.
Ronald Reagan went the exact opposite of what everybody thought he was going to do and commenced the war on drugs. George Bush Sr., I believe, undercover Democrat, took us to war on bogus intent,
And
which
it's some
led
kept
Bill Clinton in the 1996 crime bill him and Joe Biden signed. You put the war on drugs and the crime bill together, what's that get?
a mess.
Overpopulated prison system, more privately owned prisons, more corruption in the government. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the one thing that I don't like is gerrymandering. I don't like Illinois' gerrymandering. I wish they would get rid of it.
Explain that.
Okay, so say it's a Republican ran House, a Republican ran Senate, and a Republican governor, right?
Which we don't have right now.
We don't and haven't had in years. Like, I don't know. I would say,
Since you were alive.
yeah, I think it was before I was even born. I could be wrong about that, but they could decide how many seats are in the House and the Senate by changing district lines to fit their need in their favor. You hear what I'm saying? So that means, okay, so look at it like this. There's a square, right? If I take a normal, let's say 2 foot by 2 foot square, depending on how big or small I want my next squares, is depending on how many lines I mark going east and west, north and south to create however many seats there is in the House and the Senate. Now, take this for example. Say my 2 foot by 2 foot square, I marked out a bunch of 2-inch by 2-inch squares on the inside of it. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to take a couple of those 2-inch by 2-inch squares and eliminate them and soak them into the first 2-inch by 2-inch square, which would be 2-inch by 6 inches at that time, right?
Okay.
So I just moved two 2x2s into a third one, created 2x6, which ended up causing 2 less squares.
Okay.
So those 3 squares become 1. I lose 2 squares. That's taking away 2 seats.
Right.
That's how that works. That's gerrymandering.
That's ridiculous.
Okay. Governor Pritzker made gerrymandering lines so hard in Chicago, and this has been going on by every Democratic governor that's ever been in Illinois, had gerrymandered the lines to suit their benefits and their needs to keep Democrats in power.
Now, get this. I just looked this up.
Mm-hmm.
Illinois' past governors.
Right.
We have.
And if you say Bruce Rauner, Republican, he did not have House. He did not have Senate. He only had governor office.
Yep. That's the first one. Then Governor Pat Quinn was a Democrat, 2009, 2015.
He had House and Senate.
Rod R. Blockovich. Sounds
Rod Blagojevich.
Russian to me. He was a Democrat.
You know who senator was?
No,
Barack Obama.
really?
Yeah,
For Chicago?
for Illinois. He was an Illinois senator when Rod Blagojevich was governor.
Okay, so that was from 2003 to 2009. So from 1999 to 2003, you remember who it was?
No. George Ryan?
George H. Ryan.
Yeah. Who is in prison?
He was a Republican.
Yeah, but no.
Yes.
Was he? Yeah, but he didn't have House or Senate, did he?
I don't know. I'm not looking at that. I'm just looking at the governor, past
well,
governor.
you're gonna have to look up the House and Senate because that's what makes up the seats in Illinois. Now, this is all I'm
Okay.
saying.
So from 1977 to 2003, there were 3 governors, and they all 3 were Republican.
only 3 Republican governors. All the rest were ran by Democrats, right?
Well, I mean,
3 Republican governors from 1977 until now.
yes.
Okay, so if you're
Well,
saying
so 2019, yeah.
okay,
Then from 2015 to 2019, it was a Republican, Bruce Rayner,
Bruce Rauner, right?
which, I mean, I don't think he was any better for the.
He only got those 4 years, and he didn't get to do nothing because it was a Democrat House and Democratic Senate.
Right. So, I mean, honestly, yeah, from 77 to now, it's all been Democrat.
And if you don't believe me for what I'm about to say, everybody can look this up. This is grand knowledge. If Washington was to fall, that means the president and the House and the Senate was all to fall. Illinois is the only state that has a full government. Illinois is the successor. The Illinois governor will become deemed president, and Illinois will be determined as the new capital of the United States. That's the way it's set up.
Let's not have that happen, please.
Not right now.
Please.
But Illinois is the only. Illinois is literally the only state that has a full functioning government and can't budget nothing. Let that sink in for a second. Can't budget a fucking thing.
Yeah, this don't have the House and
getting back to gerrymandering. Okay, what they need to do is count and see how many actual seats are can be up for grabs. Let's say every single seat in the House. Count every single one. Say there's 100 seats in the House, and say there's 100 in the Senate. So you take Illinois. No, hold on. You take Illinois, right? You draw the new district line, dead center of Illinois from north to south. Then you take those seats and you make as many districts as it takes to cover every single seat, lock it in place. You fight and you do what you got to do to win your seat. Gerrymandering is no longer available. We're not changing districtal lines. This is an even playing field. Nothing's going to be changed. Okay. So everybody has an equal opportunity to win their district. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's how it should be in every state.
And the district would be the whole of all them counties?
Well, yeah. That's the most.
So then the people would tell the mayors and the mayors would vote the people's way
No,
to get the governor
to pick the
or
governor, the
the Senate.
representatives and the Senate, the House and the Senate. No, that would give the vote back to the people so they can pick who they feel is right. You know,
Right. So
represent-
we would vote,
you would vote, and those votes
and
would
then
stand.
they would just take it up the lines.
No, you would vote, and a winner would be decided on how many votes that person got. If that person wins, just like the presidency, if that person wins, that person is who your representative is and who your senator is. You know what I'm saying? It gives the voice back to the people.
Well, that's how it should be. I mean, for every decision that the government makes, like period, final, everything.
Right.
I don't think the government should have a decision on anything unless the people speak.
Do I believe marijuana should have been on the presidential ballot so it could have had a voice to stand in? Yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Do I believe that it should be in local ballots across every state in the country? Yes, I do.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? I think it's something that we need to really look into. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Gen X Dave. That's Smoking the Bull. We are out of here. We are way past our time. God,
Man,
it's been fun.
I'm sorry.
Discussion? No, it's not. There's no reason to be sorry, man. But we will do this again soon. Everybody, thank you for joining us.
Later.
We're out of here.
Thank you for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like